If you're a bridge builder and you've built 100 different bridges, but you end up sucking one dick, you're no longer a bridge builder, you're a dick sucker. Now, if you suck 100 dicks and build one bridge, you might just be the New York Football Giants. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Deception, and that's Drago, and we talk about the New York Football Giants. But we'll start this video off with a little bit more of a positive note, considering the circumstances that the Giants find themselves in. Looks like Malik Neighbors and Tyrone Tracy Jr., both of our two of our best rookies of this draft class, have both eclipsed 1,000 yards, both rushing and receiving respectively. And on top of that, Malik Neighbors has also broken the New York Giants receiving record at over 100 receptions on the year, with still a game left to play.
One that wanted that opportunity. Block, fired, downs for the Giants, catch made by Neighbors.
Oh, come on! You gotta admit this is cool!
Now that we got that out of the way, now that we got all the positives out of the way, let's get into some of the bullshit that we're dealing with now as Giants fans, where we just slid from the first overall pick to now the 4th overall pick. And for what? Honestly, for what? Why the fuck are we winning games? Why do we have the fucking audacity to win games this year at this point in the season? How many times have I come on this fucking podcast and begged the Giants to fucking show a little bit of effort, to show a little bit of creativity in the offensive passing game, in the running game on defense, and you guys shit the fucking bed every time. The only thing us Giants fans really had going for us going into the offseason was the fact that we were going to have our choice at quarterback, whether that be Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward, and I'm not here to advocate for either one, but the reality is that opportunity is gone. And on top of that, the reason why I was actually rooting for the Giants to lose, on top of the fact that I wanted the number 1 overall pick to at least give some semblance of a victory going into the offseason. And let's make one thing clear, there is no moral victories in the NFL. So the fact that you went out there, and even though the fact that you went out and scored 45 points, it means nothing. It's pointless for you guys to do that, and all you're doing is hurting yourselves. Because winning this game isn't some kind of morale boost that this team is going to carry into the next year. We realized that watching what happened week 1 of this year, even though we finished strong last year, thinking, oh, we won those games and we won ourselves out of contention for like a Drake May, Caleb Williams, or Jaden Daniels. But at least we were going into next year with some positive momentum. We'll bring in a number 1 wide receiver. We'll bring back DJ and sign a competent backup to replace him if necessary. None of that seemed to pan out, I should say. And I wanted the Giants to lose, like I was saying previously, because of the number 1 draft pick, but also because I wanted this regime to have the ringing in their ears from the fan base being so loud that these guys need to go. And that message isn't going anywhere. I'm still preaching that Brian Daboll, Joe Shane both need to lose their jobs. And I think it's even more evident now, because I would have, going into this draft season, because the Giants have nothing to play for the rest of this year. I mean, we only have, one more game left. You're going to have a GM that's not going to have his pick of the litter. We now are sitting 4th in the draft order, and 2 of those teams that are in front of us, 2 of those 3 teams are quarterback needy, in the Tennessee Titans and also the Cleveland Browns. We're going to have to trade up if we want to get a quarterback. And with the desperation that's reeking from this organization, they're going to give up the farm to move up to 2 or 1 or wherever they decide to go. And now, instead of just investing in a number 1 draft choice in a quarterback and not selling your future for it, now the Giants are going to have to sell their future for it, because there's no way that either Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders is falling to pick number 4. It's not happening.
Well, I'm out, guys. If this is what's cool now, I think I'm done. I no longer have any connection to this world. I'm gonna go home and kill myself. Goodbye, friends.
The fact that you guys decided to go out there and win this game shows to me that you have no situational awareness. You don't have the pulse of the fan base within that building. And I'm starting to think that this was more and more of an FU coming from Brian Daboll directed at Joe Schoen and the front office. Because I think he sees the writing on the wall that he's probably not going to be surviving this season. He's not going to be able to get the fruits of the labor of losing 10, 11 straight games and being able to draft a franchise quarterback. So on his way out the door, he's basically giving a fuck you to the rest of the front office. And I truly see, truthfully, that's how I see it, because there's no way, if you felt like you were coming back next year and you already had the number 1 draft pick locked up and you know that your offense is lacking in quarterback talent, and there's 2 quarterbacks that, kind of have 2 different kinds of play styles, that you're able to go into the draft and select your flavor of ice cream, so to speak, why the fuck would you win this game? Now, I'm really happy for the players. I'm happy for Malik. I'm happy for Tyrone Tracy. I'm happy for even our defensive players, too. We had 2 interceptions today. One of them being from Dane Belton. That was exciting for it to, see him have some production, because he was known as a ball hawk coming out of college. And then also Andrew Phillips was able to come up with an interception today. And he's also from this previous draft class that's been heralded as one of the best draft classes in Giants recent memory. So like I said, I'm happy for the players, but it just shows the incompetence of this organization, and it shows the incompetence of Brian Daboll. It shows the incompetence of Joe Schoen. It shows the incompetence of the entire coaching staff. You should not have won this game today. I'm sorry. And the fucking Colts are trash for letting a 2-14 Giants team beat you like that. 45 fucking points. Where the fuck was the Colts defense? And it sucks that I have to come onto this podcast and express these views and say that I'm upset that the Giants ended up winning a game today. But at this point in the season, we only have 1 more game to play. You already have the number 1 pick locked up if you just handle your business, because no one's going to remember that you didn't win a home game in 3-4 years, whatever. Like, no one's going to fucking care. If you want to sell the fan base on anything, you would have to sell the fan base on hope. Now the Giants fan base doesn't have any hope, because we know that for me personally, I'm not even a huge fan of the top 2 quarterbacks that were coming out this year. I'm not a huge fan of Shadur. I'm not a huge fan of Cam Ward. So I already had a little bit of trepidation even taking one of those 2 guys at number 1. But now we're in a situation at 4 where you're going to have to give up future capital in order to go up there and get one of those guys anyway. And that's even if someone is even going to want to trade with you, want to give up the number 1 overall pick, want to give up the number 2 overall pick. Because, as I said, 2 of those teams that are in front of us are quarterback needy. And if you're a quarterback needy team, why the fuck are you going to trade your pick to another quarterback needy team? So, looks like some of the Giants' options right now is, like a Jalen Milroe, a Carson Beck, a Jackson Dart, and none of those guys do it for me either. I think you probably could draft someone like a Milroe and, say if you can get him in like maybe the 2nd round and maybe have him sit for a year plus, or have him be a developmental guy. But the Giants just have no idea what they're doing. They don't have a plan.
Do you have a plan, and can you tell us what it is?
I'd run it as good as it can be run.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan.
Idea what they're doing. They don't have a plan. If they had a plan, if I believed them that they had a plan and they're saying trust the process would be to suck it this year, be total trash this year. I don't think that was necessarily the plan going into the season, but I think that's what it divulged into. Turned into a tank job. But now you just totally betrayed that whole ideology, that mindset, in order for a meaningless win. A win that actively hurt you. It's the equivalent of your dad leaving when you're a toddler to, never coming back from his grocery run to go get cigarettes and then showing up on your 18th birthday. Like, motherfucker, like, why are you showing up now? Why the fuck are you guys doing this now? I could have used you literally my entire life, and then now you're deciding to show up. The Giants are not only a dumpster fire, they're fucking retarded. Because what the fuck do we do from here? Because I'm not taking one of those. If it's not one of those top 2 quarterbacks, I'm not taking another quarterback at 4. You can miss me with that. So either we're gonna get a corner. I don't know if there's like the defensive lineman, an offensive lineman, what have you. The Giants have now royally fucked themselves. And there's not really a way out of it unless over this last game the teams that we need to win, and the teams that we need to lose. But aside from that, right now it's looking like the Giants are sitting at 4th on the draft board, and other than being happy for the individual players on the team, like I was watching videos of Malik Neighbors showing up to games in a black number 2 fucking jersey. Like, the signs were written on the wall that the Giants were going to go out there and get Shadur Sanders at number 1 if that's what the record was at the end of the year. And it looks like Malik was an advocate for the Giants to go get Shadur. But now you just fucked the whole team. You just fucked yourself, because now you're not going to have a quarterback. Because how the hell are we going to get one? Because I really doubt that the Titans are going to trade with us. I doubt that the Browns are going to trade with us. I don't think the Patriots are going to trade with us, even though they already haven't. They're not going to be getting a quarterback. They already have Drake May. But it's like the Giants can't even tank right. You can't even lose right. You can't even suck right. Everything has to be like I've said this in many a video throughout this whole year. It's like pulling teeth watching this team. The moment you get excited for one aspect, the moment I finally gave up on the idea of the Giants, once they were mathematically eliminated from the playoffs and there was no way we were going to reach that, and I just kind of resigned myself to, okay, well, if anything, I don't believe in Brian Daboll, I don't believe in Joe Shane. Let's do what we can. Let's look so bad. Let's go on such a long losing streak that the ownership has no choice but to fire this regime and bring in fresh minds. Okay, as much as I don't like that mindset, as much as I don't want to be that kind of a fan, I literally have no choice, because if I want any kind of change has to be drastic, and that's a drastic solution. But right at the fucking finish line, just like Daniel Jones tripping in that Eagles game his rookie year, the Giants can't see anything through. They can't see the tank through. They can't see winning through. As soon as we make it to the playoffs, you're just going to get blown out in the playoffs. And am I saying that, not drafting a quarterback this year is going to destroy the Giants' future? No, of course not. I think the Giants couldn't still have a bright future. I think there's plenty of good talent in this draft class that can be an asset for the team. But my problem is you have a quarterback, or not a quarterback, you have a general manager that's on the hot seat. Even if he doesn't know it yet, he's on the hot seat. And you have a head coach that's literally halfway out the door. That general manager is going to move heaven and earth to go get a quarterback, because that, at the end of the day, is going to buy him time. And I don't want him to trade 2, 3, plus first round picks to move up 2 spots, to draft one of those 2 players that I don't necessarily believe in. I don't believe that those 2 are franchise-changing players, and especially when you can't surround them with talent when you're giving up future capital. So the Giants are in a rock and a hard place, man. And I wasn't planning on making a video like this today. I really wasn't. I had actually had something else planned, and I'll probably be releasing that later on this week. But as a Giants fan, right now you just kind of have to grit your teeth and hope that change is coming, because what else can you do? I know a lot of the Giants fans in particular have reached apathy with this team and just don't fucking care anymore. Because I didn't care if they won today. I didn't care if they lost today. Like, I literally just don't even care about what happens with this team, because this team doesn't fucking pay any of my fucking bills. This team doesn't give a shit about me. This team doesn't give a shit about the fucking fans. So why am I giving so much energy and attention towards this team that obviously is fucking incompetent, pathetic, just fucking weak, weaselly? But even though I don't care, I can still see I can still have the rationality in my mind and know exactly what's going to be going down in this offseason if the Giants remain as the 4th pick going into the draft. The Giants are going to end up overpaying for a gamble at a quarterback. And if it hits, that's awesome, right? But then you're going to be sacrificing the ability to be able to build anything up around that quarterback in the future if you give up, X amount of draft picks. So in conclusion, the Giants did themselves a disservice today by winning. I think, there was a plan in place to lose out the rest of these games and for this current regime to be able to draft their quarterback. I feel like Brian Daboll may have found out that he wasn't a part of those future plans, and as an FU leaving the building, he ended up winning this game just so that Joe Shane, in the future quarterback of the Giants, wouldn't be able to easily go up and just get whatever quarterback they wanted, and they would have to essentially sell their soul for it. But anyways, guys, I appreciate everybody stopping in, checking out the channel. If you're new, go down below, leave a like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and let me guys know what you guys are the most frustrated with about the Giants. If you have any ideas of what the hell we're gonna do, because I can just see it on the wall, draft night, 4th in line, or maybe a few months before, Giants are going to make a trade to move up so that they can get their quarterback. But now, instead of it just being an easy thing where we can just stand pat and take whoever guy we want, we're not handling our own business and we're leaving it up to other teams. So, all right. But until next time, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.